I'm back with another Batmobile, and today we are looking at an Eaglemoss Batman Automobilia special. This is the Bat-Tank from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Now, when I found out that Eaglemoss was doing this series of Batmobiles, there were a few versions that I was really hoping for, and this one was at the top of my list. I featured it in my unboxing video from Stu Murray 47, so I thought I would go ahead and do a video for it. And again, I gotta do a shout out to Stuart. Thank you, my friend, for helping me get a hold of some of these amazing Batmobiles. Now, The Dark Knight Returns came out in 1986, and as many of us know, it rocked the comic book world, right? It was this highly influential book, and it really is considered a work of art. And for a long time, I really wasn't a big fan of The Dark Knight Returns. I'm typically not crazy about these Elseworld kind of stories, and being a big Superman fan, I was also never crazy about the way Frank Miller portrayed Superman as this kind of Reagan-era lapdog. Another thing is, it really took me a long time to warm up to the artwork in the book. Miller's art style is very raw and primitive, you know. It's not like Jim Lee or Tony Daniel. But over the years, I've really grown to love the overall work of the book. That rough art style really complements the dystopian world that Miller was trying to imagine. Nowadays, I'm a big fan of The Dark Knight Returns, and I also recognize it as this highly influential work of art. And Eaglemoss has done a fantastic job with recreating this possible future Batmobile. Now, when you get the Eaglemoss issue, it of course comes with the collectible in this display case diorama, and you get the magazine that comes along with it. Now, my magazine has a little bit of damage from the trip over from the UK, but I can still show you a few key images inside. So, one of my favorite parts, the blueprint that they always include of the Batmobile, or the Bat-Tank in this case. And you can open up this middle panel here, and it shows you the section that they call Under the Hood, and it shows you some of the statistics of the vehicles and some of the special features there. You also get these great cross sections of the tank, and there's this cool shot here of the cockpit, and there's another shot here of the medical bay, which if you've read The Dark Knight Returns, you know that that Batman had to use that medical bay throughout the course of the story. Now, you obviously can't get inside the vehicle and see all of these images from the cross sections, right? Like all of the Eaglemoss Batmobiles, it doesn't have any moving parts or any particular features. So let's just open this up and take a closer look, and we will check out the 3D lenticular first. Now, this is actually an image that we find right before we see the Bat-Tank for the first time in the book. The picture is actually a combination of two different panels. On the left side here, you get this shot of one of the mutants, and he's basically just screaming at the top of his lungs. And then they took this panel from later on in the book, this image of the bat signal on a building. And what they did was they combined the two to make this more dynamic backdrop for the tank. Pretty cool. Now, let's take a closer look at the star of the show here. Now, this Batmobile is actually a combination of die-cast, high-grade plastic, and rubber. And the main hull of the tank, it feels like die-cast, right? But this main middle section here leading up to the front cockpit and the fins, that part is plastic. And you know, it's kind of understated, but the sculpting detail is great throughout. All the gears and transaxles, they're on the outside and on the inside, so it really looks great from every angle. And this section with the axles and the turbines and stuff, all that is plastic, but the caterpillar tracks surrounding it are made from rubber. I've always loved how the fins, or I guess they're the deflector shields, they imply that sort of bat motif. There's no bat symbol anywhere on this tank, right? But if you're looking at it head on, you really know what's coming. And if you look at some of the classic shots from the book, you can see that Eaglemoss really did an excellent job with recreating this tank. Very cool. Now, I know it's not the most colorful Batmobile, and it's not supposed to be colorful, right? It really fits into the world of The Dark Knight Returns. You're not gonna find George Clooney driving this Batmobile around, right? But the entire tank is this sort of matte gray. But I love how Eaglemoss really tried to make it look like the tank has been used. There are these little flecks of black paint throughout, almost like a black wash. And I love the off color of the tracks, the caterpillar tracks. It's almost like this dirty bronze color. It's very nice. All of the Eaglemoss Batmobiles are said to be a 1/43rd scale. Now this special edition obviously looks a little bit bigger just by virtue of its design, right? It's meant to be this big, hulking tank. Now, I thought I would show you another model just to give you some sense of size and scale. So, here is the black tank itself, the Eaglemoss Tumbler. I thought this would be a good one to compare it to. Again, because The Dark Knight Returns was a highly influential book, and probably the most direct influence that comes to mind for most people is the Christopher Nolan Batman films. Not just with some of the plot points in The Dark Knight Rises, but also with the overall design and look of the films. Like the Tumbler, the Bat-Tank has this very militaristic, utilitarian look. It's very strong and kind of badass, and it's very threatening. It's perfect for Batman, right? So yeah, that's it, guys. This was the Eaglemoss Batman Automobilia Special, the Bat Tank from Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. A great model from Eaglemoss. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you a fan of The Dark Knight Returns? Do you like this design of the Batmobile? Please feel free to leave any questions or comments. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.